Hello everyone, am I audible? Hello. So yesterday we saw the final keyword and the throw, right? What is the use of the throw? What is the use of the finally? And when they are executing, we saw yesterday, right? My voice is clear, no? Today. Hello. My voice is clear. Okay. So okay. So today we will see the throws keyword. What is the use of the throws keyword? How we can write the throws keyword? We will see that today. Okay. So if you take any example, this one also. Suppose we have an exception in that method. Okay, in this method, suppose we have exception system.out and we have an exception in that step. In this line, we have an exception. So what will JVM will do? What will happen if in this statement exception will occur? Anyone? Yes. An object, and after that, what it will do? JVM will ask to that method, do you handling the exception or not? Right? If that method means handling the event, so handling code will be print. Whatever we write inside the handling code, that will be print. But if that method is not handling the exception, what it will do? The JVM where it will go? Where it will pass the object default exception handler, right? It will pass that object to the default exception handler, and default exception handler will print that, right? Suppose we have a method in that. Suppose we have a method public void m1. Now we have a exception in this line, this method now. Okay, this time we have a exception in this method. So what will happen now? Which method will create an object? Okay, 1 minute. Now is it okay? Hello. Is it okay? Okay. So in this method now, in the M1 method, we have a exception. So what it will do? Which method will create an object? M1 method, right? M1 method create an object, and after that, if this method, JVM will ask to this method, right? If you are handling the event or not. If this method is not handling the event, where JVM will go? After that, where JVM will go? JVM will come to the caller method, right? Whoever method calling that method, JVM will come to that method. Suppose I am calling this method M1 method from here, new text. Okay, new text, and after that I am creating an object, control one obj, and after that I am calling that method simply obj dot m1. So what it will do, JVM first asks to this method. Firstly, it will abnormally terminate the program, right? First, it will abnormally terminate our program. After that, it will create an object, and in that object, it will add three things. Which are that things? Anyone knows? Which are the things? Yes, right. Exception class name, description, and the stack trace, right? It will add three things in that object, and it will create an object. After that, JVM will ask to that method, do you handling the event or not? Suppose this method is not handling the event, where JVM will go? JVM come to the caller method. Whoever method calling that method, JVM will come to that method. So from here we are calling the method, right? From here we are calling the M1 method now. So JVM will come to this main method. JVM will come to the main method, and JVM will ask to the main method, handling the exception or not. So this method is also not handling the exception. Where JVM will go? JVM will come to the default exception handler, and JVM will pass that object to the default exception handler, and default exception handler will print that object. Whatever things present in that object, the default exception handler will print that. Right? Suppose I want to handle that event, handle that exception. So where we can handle from M1 method, we can handle or we can handle here also inside the main method. With the caller method, we can call also, we can handle also, or we can handle here where exception is occur, right? So now, what is the use of the throws keyword? Suppose I'm creating a method here. Suppose I'm creating a method, public void read file. Don't worry about that. I will tell you. I will tell you all things. Suppose I'm writing creating one method, public void read file. Okay, for reading the file, I'm creating one method. This name as the new input stream. For input stream. Okay. This will read the file. Okay, this will read the file to the 1 minute. Okay, here I am adding one means from where it will read the files from in the D drive. In the E drive, it can read my abc.txt file. Simply, what is the use of this line? It is used to read the file. Okay, it will read the file from abc dot from E drive to abc.txt. Okay, after that we will assign somewhere. Okay, so I am assigning here FIS. Okay, I am assigning here. So this is the use of the file input stream. Now it is giving the error. Why? Because this file is throw the exception. This file is throwing some exception, that is the file not found. Sometimes our file is not, our drive is not there, means we have a not a drive with the name e. So that time it will throw the exception, that is the file not found exception. So now what I want, I can handle the exception here also, or I want that I don't want to handle the exception here now. Okay, I don't want to handle the exception here now. So what we will do, we will close the exception from now. What we will do, we will throws the exception from this method. Okay? We will close the exception. Simply we will write throws keyword, and after that we will write the exception class name, file not found exception. Okay, simple we will do like that. Okay, and here what we are doing, we are indicating the caller method. Okay, whoever calling that method, it will indicate that this, if you want to call this method, you have to handle the exception first. Okay, you have to handle the exception first, because this method is throwing the exception, so I am not handling that. You have to handle by your way. Okay, according to your need, you have to handle this exception. I am not handling this event, okay, or exception. Okay, so here what I did here, have created one simply I have created one object of that. And what is the use of this file output input stream? Simply remember that it is used to read the file. It is used to read the file. Now if I create the another file here, public void save file. Simply I am creating a new method. Okay, a new method. Inside that, what I am doing, new file output stream. This is used to write the file. Okay, so simply in the E drive, simply I am writing text.txt. Okay, simply I'm writing here text.txt. And what this method will also do, this method is also 1 minute. This method is also throw one exception, that is the file not found exception. This method is also throw one exception, that is the file not found exception. So this time also we cannot handle that. Okay, whoever call this method, that will handle that exception. I want that only. Okay, whoever call this method, that will handle that. What I will do, simply I will write here throws and the file not found, file not found exception. Simply I am writing like that. Okay, so in the both the method I have created the I have called the method inside inside this method. I have called this method. That is the first one is file input stream, you read the file, and another one is the file output stream, write the file. Okay, both the things I have wrote, but both the things are throwing the exception. Both the things are throwing the exception, that is the file not found exception. And this time I don't want to handle this that exception here. So what I did, I throws that exception. Okay, so whoever call that method, that will handle that. Okay, that method will handle that, will not handle that exception now. Okay, so now if I want to call that method, suppose if I want to call that method, how we will call? Simply we will come to the main method. After that we will create an object. This is the simple way, right? This is the basic. We know that we knows that we will create an object, and with the help of object we can call that. Simple, right? So now if I write here obj dot read file, simple I'm writing obj.read file, so it is giving the error. It is giving the error. Why? Because we have to handle that exception. Okay, we have to handle the exception. It is saying like that. See, read file, inside the read file we have wrote here file input stream. File input stream is used to read the file, but it is throwing the exception. Which exception it is throwing? That is the file not found. And I don't want to handle that exception here inside this method. So what I did, I throws the exception with the help of throws keyword. Okay, throws the key exception from here, that is the throws and will not found. So whenever I call that method, this method will be indicate that, inform that method that this method will throw one exception, that is the file not found exception. If you want to call that method, you have to handle that by your way. By your way you have to handle that with the help of try or catch, or you can close by here also, but JVM will create an object and JVM will pass to the default exception handler. So best way to handle that exception here. Okay, the best way is to handle that exception here. Okay, in the caller method. Now what I did, simply I will write try here. Okay, simply I will write try. Now inside it I will call that method with the help of bj dot read file. Simply I will write, and after that we have to write the catch to handle that exception. Right. Inside that what I will need, which exception it is throwing, file not found. Simply I am writing here file not found exception. Okay, file not found exception. Here we will print the exception code anywhere, in anything we want. System dot out we will write here. Here we will print. Okay, so this is the thing, this type we have to handle that exception. So here I have created one method, and from that method it is throwing one exception, so I didn't handle that event, handle that exception. I passed that exception. Whenever anyone can call that method, that will handle that exception, that will handle this exception, that is the file not found exception. Whenever I did like that, I throws the exception. Whenever I call this method, what we need to do first, this method will indicate to caller method. This method will indicate to caller method. So I have not handling this event, and this method is throwing one exception, that is the file not exception. If you want to call that method, first you need to handle that exception. Otherwise, otherwise the exception, right? That is the file not found exception it will do. And inside this one, so whenever we use throws keyword, we have to write only the checked exception. We have only to write the checked exception, that is the compile time exception we need to write, because the unchecked exception is always occurred with by the programmer's fault. Okay, unchecked exception is occurred, that will be occurred with the help with the programmer's part. So it needs to be, programmer need to care about that, right? So when we want to use the throws keyword, we need to use only the checked exception, that is the compile time exception. And if we not handle this exception, our program will not compile, right? If this exception is occurred here, and if I not write here try and catch, suppose, see, if I not write try and catch, our program will not compile. If I run this one also, see, it is throwing the exception. That is the unhandled exception type. Okay, unhandled exception, that is the file not found. Means first we need to handle that exception. Whenever compile time exception will come, we have to handle that. Right. Simply we will write like that. Okay, we are handling the exception here. After that, what we need to do, if we have not handled the exception, the it will abnormally terminate our program. Okay, what it will do, it will abnormally terminate our program. Suppose I am not handling the event this time, exception this time. Suppose I'm removing this thing. After that, I'm writing here system.out. Here I'm printing hello. Okay, and if I run this one, see, hello will not print on the console. Hello is not printing, means this time our program is abnormally terminating. So what we need to do? Simply we need to write here the try and catch. So after that, if you write the try and catch, we are handling the exception, so our program will not abnormally terminate. See, after that, after the catch, if I write here system.out and the hello, and if I run this one, our hello will be print. See, hello is printing now. Now, if I want to run the another method here, so that is the object dot. What is the name of our file? That is the save. Simply save file is there. Simply I am writing object dot save file. It is giving the error. So what we need to do here? Anyone? What we need to do? Hello. Yes, we need to handle that exception with the try and the catch, right? So simply what we will do? Simply we will write here try, and after the event, after the exception, we will write here this is the risky code. It may be throw the exception, so we need to handle that. So after that catch, and we need to write a exception here. Simply file not found, file not found exception. After that, simply we will write the exception handling code here. Simply I'm printing here also E. Okay, now if I run this one, our program will successfully execute and our program will not abnormally terminate. Okay, our program will not abnormally terminate. Our program will maintain the flow. Okay? Our program will maintain the flow of the programs. If I run again, see our all the things are printing now. Okay, means our program is not abnormally terminating. Suppose if I write here system.out, okay, and if I write here hello also, if I run this one, see, hello is printing. Hello is printing two times. This one, this time also, and this time also. Means our program is not abnormally terminating. And if we come into the E drive and the test.txt, okay, test.txt. If you want to see, we will come into the here, come into the E drive, and we will see test.txt is test.txt is successfully created here. Okay, test.txt is successfully created. Means our program is successfully run here. Okay, or not, it is not compiled. Okay, now we will see some theory about that. Okay, so simply I will write. Anyone have any issue till here? Anyone have any issue? Is it possible to handle exception without try block? Okay, no, we cannot handle with the without try and block. We can have, we can pass anywhere. We can pass from one method to the caller method, but we have to handle always with the try and the catch block. Okay, here where is our exception encapsulation and the naming thread. Okay. After that, what we do? Some key working points. Okay, try block is used to write the risky code. Right? From starting, we know that try block is used to write the risky code. After that, catch block is used to write the exception handling code. That is the alternative way for the exception. After that, finally block is used to write the cleanup code. It is used to write the cleanup code. After that, so it creates an exception manually. It will create an exception object manually. Means if you want to create an customized exception, that time we will use the throw keyword. After that, the throws. Why throws will be used? It is used to declare the exception. Okay, it is used means it will means whenever that method having the exception, what it will do. And I don't want to means handle that exception. I want that when whoever call that method, okay, whoever caller method is there, that will be handle that exception according to that need. So that time we will use the throws keyword. Okay, that time we will use throws keyword. It gives an information to the caller method that there may occur an exception. So it is better for the caller method to provide an exception handling code. Okay, so whenever caller method will call that method, okay, so there means that method must need to handle that exception first. After that, the code will be executed. Okay, and the normal flow can be maintained also. Okay, so this is the throw keyword. After that, if we call the method that declares an exception, we must either code the exception using try and catch block or declare the exception using throw keyword. See here, suppose we have an exception inside this one, and we are throwing the exception from read file also and the save file also. So we have handled with the try and catch block. Otherwise, we can handle with the help of throws keyword. See, we can remove from here try and catch, and after that I'm here also I'm removing try and catch. Okay, suppose I will write like that. Suppose what we need to do, this both the lines are giving the exception. Okay, both the lines are giving the exception. What we need to do, simply we need to throws the exception. So simply I will write here throws. After that I will write here which exception it is throwing. I will not found exception. So what JVM will do this time, JVM will hand over that object to the default exception handler. If I run this one, see, JVM hand over that exception to the default exception handler, and default exception handler will print that all the things which are present inside that object. Okay, so this is not best way to handle. If you are throwing that exception from method the caller method, that is okay. From caller method you are throwing the exception. What DVM will do? DVM will hand over that object to the default exception handler, and default exception handler will print that. So best way to handle the exception is to try and catch block. Okay, always we need to write the try and catch block. With the help of try and catch block, we can handle the exception. Okay, here we have an exception, so we can write here with the caller method. We can write here the try and catch block. Otherwise, and another method we have, that is the object dot save file. So here also we need to write object try and catch block with the caller method. Okay, by this way we can handle the exception. Okay, if you are not doing that, it will say unreported exception must be caught or declared to be thrown. To prevent this compile time error, we can handle the exception in two ways: by using try and catch block or using the throws keyword. But best way is to you have to use the try and catch block. If you use the throws keyword, it will give that object to the default exception handler and default exception handler only. Okay, so best way is to handle that exception is the try and catch block. Okay. After that, throws keyword used to declare the checked exception only. We can use throws keyword with the checked exception only. If there occur any unchecked exception, such as null pointer exception, it is a programmer fault. It is only the programmer's fault, and it is not performing check up before the code being used. Means if you are performing throws keyword, okay, if you want to use the throws keyword, you need to use only the checked exception. You need to use only the checked exception, because unchecked exception is occur because of the programmer's fault. Okay, because of the programmer's fault, unchecked exception will the occur. Okay, so this is the all about the throws keyword. Okay, this is all about the throws keyword. Here come inside any exception come into the method, and if you don't want to handle that exception, what we need to do, what you need to do, simply we can write here throws and which exception occur, which exception is occurring. This time file not found exception is coming from this method, so I have write here throws and the file not found exception. What it is, what it is indicating, whenever we call this method will indicate to caller method that this method will throw the file not found exception. So first you need to handle that exception. First you need to handle that exception, and after that the code will be work, or code means your code will not randomly terminate. Okay, after that, here what we will do is, whenever we calling this method, we have to use the try and the catch block. Simple. Okay, and you are execute. Otherwise you can try with the throws also, but throw is not a better way, or I am suggesting only the try and the catch block, because if you use throw will give that object to the default exception handler. Okay, this is the all about the throws keyword. So anyone have any doubt here? Any concept like try, catch, finally, throws, or throw? Anyone have any doubt? No? Anyone have any doubt here? Saying no, saying no. Please speak up, guys. Only two guys are speak up here. There's the Manan and the Manoj. Any issue? Okay, Vishnu is saying also no. Okay, now we will start the new topic. Okay, now we will start the new topic. Venkat is saying Srina. Okay, so now we will try the new topic, that is the multitasking. If I say you the word multitasking, so anyone knows about the meaning of multitasking? Many times we are heard this word, right? That is the multitasking. So we are every day we are work with the multitasking. You knows that. So how means what is the use of the multitasking, and what is the meaning of the multitasking? Anyone knows? Real life, anyone? If it is wrong also, it is good only. We can execute multiple tasks at the same time. Suppose here also I am doing the multitasking. I am executing the, I am running the Eclipse here, I am running the PowerPoint, I am running the Chrome here, I am running this software also. So this is the multitasking, multiple tasks run at the same time. Yes, Mahendra is saying executing multiple times at one time. Yes, that is good. Multiple tasks, when we run multiple tasks at the same time, that is known as the multitasking. That is known as the multitasking. So here we have a one concept, that is the multi-threading. We will see only the introduction today. Okay, so we have a one concept here, that is the multi-threading. Anyone knows what is multiprocessing, or anyone knows what is process? Anyone knows what is process? Anyone knows what is program? Hello. Set of instruction. This is a flow of execution, right? So program means what? Program means set of instruction. We are giving the set of instruction to the computer. That is known as the program, right? That is known as the program. And what is the process? When program is in execution state. When program is in execution state, that is known as the process. And what is meant by multiprocessing now? What is meant by multiprocessing? That is easy only, no? Anyone? What is multiprocessing? Multiprocessing, by the name we can assume that. Sorry. Hello. Hello, am I audible? So, what is multiprocessing? Multiprocessing means what? Multi and the processing. So, anyone knows what is multiprocessing? We can discuss only. Multiprocessing. See, if you talk about the multitasking, what is the multitasking? Multiple tasks work at the, or execute at the same time. Same like that, multiprocessing. What is multiprocessing? Multiple process execute at the same time or work at the same time. That is only known as the multiprocessing, right? If you see seeing this diagram, if you observe the diagram, we are executing VLC, Word, or browser at the same time. There is the operating system and the CPU. CPU is used to CPU is responsible for executing any task. Okay, CPU is the only one who is responsible to executing any task. If you are taking the VLC, VLC is not executing in the operating system. VLC is executing in the CPU. Whenever any task come to the CPU, that time that task is in executing state. Okay, that task is in executing state, and every task if it want to execute, they must have to come into the CPU. Okay, they will execute into the CPU only. Okay, here VLC, Word, browser, if I run this all the tasks at the same time, that is known as the multitasking. Okay, that is known as the multitasking. And with the help of multitasking, what is the use of the multitasking? What is the advantage of the multitasking? That is the increase the performance of the CPU. It will increase the performance of the CPU, and we can achieve the multitasking by the two ways. That is the two ways, or it have the two types: the process based multitasking or the thread based multitasking. Okay, there are two types, or the we can achieve by the two ways. That is the process based multitasking and the thread based multitasking. Process based multitasking, we can know that is the multi-processing, and thread based multitasking is also called as the multi-threading. Okay, multi-processing and the multi-threading. Now we will see the multi-processing. When one system is connected to the multiple processor in order to complete the task, that is known as the multi-processing. Okay, here see the VLC, Word, browser. These are the tasks. Okay, these are the tasks. That is the VLC, Word, and the browser. CPU, all the CPUs are the processor. These are all are the processor. When one system is connected with the multiple processor, when one system is connected to the multiple processor, that is known as the multi-processing. Okay, or when multiple processor execute at the same time, that is known as the multi-processing, right? Here PLC, Word, and browser are the multiple tasks that that will execute at the same time with the different processor, that is the CPU. It have the different CPUs, that is the CPU, second CPU, and the third CPU. Okay, it has the multiple CPU, that is known as the multi-processing. It is best suitable as the system or the operating system. That's why it is not coming into the Java. Okay, that's why we are not learning in this topic into the Java, because it is suitable at the system or the operating system level, not at the programming level. If we see the another one, that is multi-threading. Multi-threading means executing multiple thread at the same time. Similarly, means what is the multi-threading means? Suppose if I come here into the paint, suppose I will open the paint here. Suppose we come into the paint. Okay. My paint screen is visible now. No. Okay. If we take any one of the task from here, okay, suppose we have taken the task that is the VLC, okay, VLC is called as the process, is called as the process or the task, big task. So inside this VLC, suppose this one is our VLC. VLC, all we know is that there is a video software, right? So here, what it will do, inside the VLC, there are small tasks are present. Similarly, this is the video task. Videos coming inside the VLC. After that, this one is our progressing bar task. This one is our progressing bar. Here one timestamp is there. Here one timestamp is there, right? Here stop play button is there, right? All the things are coming here, and here audio is also coming, right? So how many things are there? First one is a video. After that, audio, uh, timestamp, many things are there inside the VLC, right? This, if you take the VLC means the big task. VLC means the big task. Inside the big task, there is the small task, that is the video, audio, timestamp, volume, small task present inside the big task. The small task is known as the thread. Okay, the small task is known as the thread, and big task is known as the process. Okay, so we can say that where is the small task is present, the small task is present inside the big task. Big task means, I told you, that is the process. I will write here big task. The big task means, what we said here is the process. Okay, what we said here, that is the process. And the small task means here, that is the thread, right? Small task means thread, and big task means process. So where the small task is present, the small task is present inside the big task, right? Here is the VLC, and inside the VLC there the video, audio, timestamp are present. So we can say that thread is a sub part of the process. We can say that thread is a sub part of the process, means it is present inside the process. Okay, so we can say that thread is a sub part of process, or we can say that thread is a small task. It is a small task. See here, if you see the definition, executing multiple thread, that is sub process, or the small task that is at the single time, that is known as the multi-threading. When we execute all the threads at the same time, that is known as the multi-threading. See, if you take video, music, progress bar, or the timing. Okay, so these all are the small tasks which are present inside the big task, that is the VLC. VLC means process here, and video, music, progress bar, timing, these are the small tasks, means the threads here. Okay, did you saw any time first video is playing, after that music is playing, after that progress bar is playing? You saw like that? Hello, you saw some anytime like first is video is playing, after that audio is playing, after that the timing is playing? No, no, right? I mean, if you see the movie, right, if you are seeing the movies, so what they did, all the things will be executed at the same time. Means video also, audio also, then progress ball and time. If you seeing the video on the VLC, so all the tasks will be execute at the same time. So video is also working at the same time. Music is also executing at the same time, right? So same time all the things are executing. That is known as the multi-threading. This small task is executing at the same time. That is known as the multi-threading. Small task means nothing but the threads. Okay, that is the thread. Threads means subprocess or the small task. Where it is present inside the big task. Big task means the process. So say where is this small task is present? Small task means thread. Thread is present inside the process. So thread is a sub part of the process. Okay. When we are executing all the threads at the same time, that is known as the multi-threading. Okay, that only known as the multi-threading. And after that, here is the CPU. Okay, and what is the use of that? Where it is using multi-threading in the software, in the games, and or in the animation, the multi-threading is used. And multi-threading is best suitable at the programming level. It is best suitable at the programming level. That's why it is coming into the. That's why we learn into the Java also. Okay, multi-threading we will learn into the Java, and we can create a thread inside the Java by two ways. That is the thread class and the runnable interface. That we will see tomorrow. Okay. Anyone have any issue till here? Even an issue? Okay, so this is the today we have completed all the exception handling, I hope you have understand that. Okay, if you have any doubt, I'm coming to the search also, so you can ask there also, or you can ping me. Okay, and if you have any doubt, so you can ping on the group also. Okay, so that's it today, guys. Today's assignment is that you have to create a program on the throws keyword, and Hari Krishna is also giving the one the task you have to submit it for today, guys. Thank you for your time. We will meet tomorrow. Bye.